everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Fight Factory podcast right here on Premier Wrestling. Dave Sturchio alongside Tommy Dee right here at the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru studio. And of course, we're being powered by MadCatBeardCare.com. I actually just scared the crap out of Tommy.
Yeah, dude.
He went to go use the Chop Studios bathroom. He turns the light on and bam, there I am as a cat. My beard oil is in the bathroom here, so I can freshen up, and it's probably
looking good.
I mean, dude, my beard has never looked better. It's not even a joke. I'm not just saying that to sell product. And am I trying to sell product? Sure I am. But at the same time, it's good stuff, man. I have to give it up for Josh over at Madcat Beard Care. He sent me a massive care package. My son loves he has this Madcat Beard Care stuffed animal thing that he now sleeps with, which is horrifying, by the way. So if he ever wakes up and sees the face of this thing, it's like the logo of Madcat just up in your grill. Looks like a gremlin. But anyway, MadCatBeardCare.com. Use the code Premier at checkout. You get 15% off to get yourself Premier Beard. That's right, Dave Sturchio's beard stuff. Check that out. Also, Absolute Eyewear. As always, continued thank you to Craig and Janine, who did not invite me to their St. Patrick's Day shenanigans. They did, but I forgot. They always have a party right there at the store.
Okay.
They shut down operation. They're not even open. And they have this massive party, so I missed out again. But anyway,
that's unfortunate.
It is, because Jimmy Palumbo was there. All the Palumbos were there. Madison, my former intern Madison, who's doing really, really, really awesome things for Syracuse in her grad school stuff. So in any event, that is the sponsors. I took care of those guys in the beginning. Now on to some business. We got, obviously, the War on the Shore has been making some serious noise, man. I'm excited. A lot of people have inquired about being booked. We've went over this time and time again. The card is looking pretty jam-packed right now. So if you're watching this show, which thank you for watching, I just don't know if there's any more room to book. I mean, there might be. It really depends. I mean, as of right now, the tentative card, we don't have a tag match, so I do want to put some kind of tag match out there. But yeah, it's getting a little tight.
My thing is, it's tough. It's like, who do you choose, right? Because person A is hitting us up, and then person B is hitting us up. It's like, okay, we could do that, but then person C is coming through, and person C has a parent who's they're WWE Hall of Famer, and they want to get. It's like,
I know,
damn,
it is it's difficult to narrow it down. I don't want it to seem like this is all about getting your best friends on a wrestling show, because it's not the case at all. Because I don't like anybody that we've booked so far. No, I think that what we've done already and the noise and the buzz that we've created, specifically with Matt Cardona, Joey Janela, Danny Moff, Casey Navarro, Lady Frost, which, by the way, Lady Frost, this is my public apology to you for not using the correct or an up-to-date picture. I swear on everything under the sun. It was my graphic designer, who I love dearly, Mark Carino, went and found the best quality picture. And when I say quality, like pixelation and shit, to use to make it as good as possible. So that's the one he found, and he used it, and he showed me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Lady Frost. So I didn't know it was an Impact photo. That's my fault. That's my B. Please don't murder gymnastics me up and down anytime soon.
I don't think she's the one you got to worry about. Well, I mean, Victor Benjamin,
I'm sure he's
already
give
kicked you right in your suck hole.
Right in my face. Somehow, some way, he's in the showcase match tomorrow in Totowa, and he assaulted me not too long ago.
Well, because...
Do I owe him anything? No.
Like he who shall not be named always used to say, it's what's best for business.
Oh, okay. Well, it is. And
see, I'm getting better. I'm getting better with that, right?
Yeah, no, you are. You are.
You know what it is? Because I don't have Mr. Moose Knuckle here to make me offensive.
So I got a DM from my buddy Matt Ibby, who hosts a very, very good Mets podcast. I remember
Ibby.
Ibby's a good guy. Till Mets Do Us Part. He's on another network now.
He left us?
He left us, yeah. But no, greener pastures, or the people have more time to put behind his show, which, by the way, is rocking. And if you're a Mets fan, I'm sorry. But, on top of that.
And the season's over.
Yeah, you're right. But he said that Payne was like one movement away during the reel that we shared last week from it being like an OnlyFans exclusive.
I told you. He was doing the full Basic Instinct, like leg opening, like.
Just like, here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, God. So, yeah.
Beaver shot.
That was relatively rough to watch. But in any event, where the hell was I going with that? Yeah. Because Payne's not here, so now you're able to
So
focus
it was
and
best
zero
for
in.
business, and we've already announced 2 Devastation Inc. members on War at the Shore with Danny Moff, who's the de facto leader of the
Who's the other
Devastation Inc. Victor Benjamin.
I didn't announce him yet. He might think he's booked. I didn't announce him. We didn't announce him.
Victor Benjamin
Hell
for
no,
War
we
at the Shore?
didn't.
Oh, we
No.
didn't book him?
We didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't.
Well, thanks for the house.
This is what the showcase matches are for. So if you can bring it, like I expect you to, I fully expect both Victor Benjamin and Chris Steeler to deliver a high-quality match tomorrow night in Totowa at the Totowa PAL, which, by the way, they had a press conference last night, ISPW. Interesting.
Did
I've
you
been
see
catching
who
a
made
little
an appearance?
Huh?
So you made an appearance.
There's a couple people who made an appearance.
Yeah, but it's relative to me.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I saw Yusuf Farrell do his thing, and I know you've been talking and teasing that you're going to try to do a couple things with him, and I think that's exactly what the kid needs on the real. I think that,
you independent promoters, you are not ready.
for an open mic with this
You
guy.
are not
Holy
ready.
Shit. Yeah, that might be catastrophic, to be honest
You
with
are
you.
not ready.
But
Gino Gotts has nothing on this guy.
ISPW, and I'm a company guy. I'm rocking the shirt today. ISPW is putting on a great show tomorrow. The Golden Ticket Rumble. A lot of the participants I know, some of them I don't.
That was a packed press conference.
It was a good press conference. They had a nice little turnout at Jersey Mike's in Totowa. There was a couple matches that were kind of teased going forward. I believe Vicious Vicky's going to get her return match against Ava Everett coming up. I believe at 80s Wrestling Con. I think that's what's going to happen.
We're booked there too, folks.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be in the house for that one. That one should be very, very good. I'm excited for that. I'm specifically excited for 90s Wrestling Con. It's more my speed.
Oh.
That's Atlantic City. That could mean dangerous things for multiple reasons. It's just as much as dangerous as Vegas, just not. It's not hundreds of miles away.
Do I bite the bullet and buy an NWO shirt before that?
You want to be a complete mark or a professional?
Can I be a professional mark?
No, you can't be a professional mark. The only professional mark that I know is Mark Sterling. He's a professional mark.
Yeah.
How about Mark Henry? Another professional mark. You can't be a professional mark because you are Tommy, and that's not how it works. But yeah, so cool stuff out of ISPW. Tomorrow night, if you're watching this right now on a Thursday, get to Totowa. If you're seeing this on Friday, still get to Totowa. I think it's going to be a great night.
Come on out.
We also have our women's showcase match, which features Lady Frost, the 2024 version of Lady Frost, taking on Kayla Sparks, which I've been talking to Kayla all week long. She's been promoting her ass off.
Poor Kayla.
Yeah, I saw her on what was it?
Collision.
Collision. Was it Collision or was it the other one? Rampage.
Might have been Rampage. I don't know.
Either way, she took a thunderous. I feel bad for you, but I kind of envy you.
Yeah, a little bit.
I love Tony Storm. No, she's great.
Did she take it from Mariah May too? Like, didn't she get a double dose?
Double whammy. But yeah, Kayla Sparks sold her ass off.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. And she did a wonderful job. So I fully expect her and Frost to deliver tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Highlights of those matches will be available next week. Full match will be available on Premier Wrestling. So you'll be able to see if they deliver. And if they don't, I'm going to kick them both out and say never come back.
Well, Kayla was also with Demolition yesterday.
And Victoria.
Victoria and Alundra Blaze.
Alundra
Or,
Blaze.
excuse me, Medusa.
Yeah. Well, she'll always be Alundra Blaze to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw Victoria follows all of us.
I know she does.
She seems like a really cool person. I can't wait to meet her in person. I'm sure we'll meet her maybe at WrestleCon or something like that. Which,
Is she
by
local?
the way,
Like kind of local?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know how you found us, but I mean, I'm glad you did because
Yeah, of course.
she was always one of my favorites from back in the day.
She was great.
She could go.
She can go. She looked the part.
And what was that? Her and Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
They feuded because they were both like fitness models in the beginning, and they had that whole backstory. Storytelling, folks.
Yeah,
that whole
that.
backstory going into it. That was a really good, we were teenagers, so.
And of course, Trish and Victoria are, they were on my wall. You know what I mean? So as a kid, Victoria, like I said, she follows all of us. She's very supportive of everything everybody's got going on. So that's dope.
Gotta get her on here.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a very cool get for the Fight Factory podcast. I think just catching up with her, seeing what she's got going on. I know she's very tight. If not, she does the podcast with Mickey James, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Gall or something. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
You know what
for
it
not
is? You
knowing
probably don't. there's so much going on with you right now with all your interviews and podcasts that you get to do because it's all you.
Somebody's going to be the face of this company, right? I mean, you know,
they're both very well done, though. I'll give you your flowers.
What, for Van Vliet?
Van Vliet, your podcast with the Shining Wizards, and they had you on, and then the one that you did yesterday.
I did yesterday. So the one yesterday, man, that was very, like, pulled on my heartstrings a little bit because here's a fan from England.
Yeah.
Cerebral palsy. Like, just struggling through life, but really just a big wrestling fan, and just his voice. I told him, I was like, bro, as long as you got your voice, you got the tool. You know what I mean? That's the tool you need if you want to make it in podcasting. And all the questions, and he brought up a lot of things that I did that I forgot I did, and then like we just got into the wrestling fandom. You mean you listen? It's not available yet.
What do you mean it's not available? There's a link for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
There's no way he posted it already.
Okay.
You watched it.
I listened.
All right. I mean, now I'm going to have to go watch.
Come on, man.
He told me he didn't know when this was going to air, so he must have rushed it right out.
I guess so.
My man. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. So anyway, so lots of stuff going on. Fight Factory Wrestling has got some buzz. We've released one of the posters last night, and it once again blew up. Thank you to Mr. Matt Cardona for accepting the collaboration on that, because I've never got so many likes in my life.
Yeah, but that looks like a movie poster, like a new Sharknado movie starring Matt Cardona.
It really does. And he's like got the indie gear on, like the Indiana Jones gear. So it shout out to Mark Carino. He's one of one of my good brothers in professional wrestling. Him and Justin Carino were the Heavenly Bodies. I
understand they were allowed to use it. Let's talk about the original Heavenly Bodies.
Endorsed.
Yes.
It wasn't like, hey, can we use the name?
The original Heavenly Bodies.
We want to be the Heavenly Bodies.
But the original
they did the whole thing.
Yeah, but
they did everything.
You got to understand, a lot of our listeners might not have grown up during the time to know who the actual Heavenly Bodies was.
Well, the Heavenly Bodies to me were Justin and Marcarino.
Okay, well, Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Or Dustin and Justin, however.
Dustin and Justin. That sounds better than Dr. Tom and the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey.
Yeah, well, it was Gigolo Justin.
Okay.
And a desirable Dustin.
Okay.
So it was, they had their, bro, I'm telling you, those guys were the epitome and the definition of tag team wrestling.
Well, I love their finisher on Pain.
Oh, yeah. They made it a GIF, which is even better. I'm going to use that forever now. But yeah, I would love nothing more. And I swear to God, I would remove people's bookings right now to book the Heavenly Bodies return match against anybody. I don't care who it is, but it would be fantastic. I miss those guys. I really do. But in any event, that's the War on the Shore news. I'm sure you guys are on the edges of your seats. Front row sold out. Second row starting to move. General admission starting to move. Sponsors are starting to come in. So now we got some real buzz. I actually talked to a Brian Barth last night, as per Joey Janela, hooked that conversation up.
Thank you, Joey.
Yeah, so I got to talk to him, and he seems like a really cool dude as far as, because a lot of these guys, they catch a bad rap because most of them are goobers. Most of them are just weird money marks people. This guy seemed like a down-to-earth guy. He's a sports guy. He's a Giants fan. Like I'm friends with him on Facebook now. I see his like statuses and stuff. He seems like he's got his head screwed on right. Where some of these guys just are complete.
Well, you said he's a Giants fan. He's not an Eagles fan.
Right. I mean, yeah. And I'm going to deal with all those Neanderthals in just a little bit. A couple weeks from now, WrestleCon. Myself, Josh Chernoff will have a table. Obviously, the Fight Factory will be there as well, represented. And that'll be a great time. We're actually going to, next week, we're going to finally sit down, map out exactly what what we're doing each and every day. I believe Casey Navarro is joining us on day one from 9 to 1 at our table. So he'll be signing autographs. I'm sure he'll have all 15 of his belts with him. His entrance the other day was pretty funny. I don't know if you saw it from ISPW.
No.
He comes out with all the belts. And he has like a handler come out, and he just keeps taking the belts off and handing them to the guy. And he's like, hold on, one more. Hold on, one more. Right? He's got so many belts. Hey. And you know what? Again, as like pro wrestler me, when I was active, I came like inches away from actually winning tag team championship gold. I had it in my hands. It was a dusty finish. The whole like second ref came out like, oh no, this happened. And like we won dirty. So obviously it was taken right out of my hands. I never won a championship in professional wrestling, and I've always wanted to. Not for like cool, I got a belt, but like that's just goes to show you that the company wants you to be their guy to handle one division or another, whether it be the tag team or the World Heavyweight Championship or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I never got that chance. Now that Casey does, excited about it. Which, by the way, on March 28th, what's today? 21st?
Next week, brother.
Next week, Casey Navarro in studio. So he will be coming down here to chit chat.
Hey, he's
chat.
You know, Steve has been doing some really good work with KC because he's looking beefy. Steven.
Dark SDG. Oh yeah, okay.
I'm trying to
whatever. He's got like 18 personas. But yeah, dude, no. Casey's finally putting on some
really good size.
He is. See it. He is. He looks great. And the 5-way that he had last week at ISPW absolutely stole the show, and it's not even close. Very, very good match. So yeah, Casey Navarro's still on a tear, collecting belts, and he'll be in studio next week at the Fight Factory.
He wrestled
podcast.
Cardona.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah,
I believe twice. And who knows? Maybe War on the Shore will feature those guys again. Never know. Teaser alert, spoiler alert, whatever. I don't know. However you want to take that, you could take that. We got a lot of announcements coming, but I guess we should get to some wrestling as we are in mid or peak WrestleMania season.
Not feeling it though.
You're not feeling it? What's happening? Why?
I mean, other than the stuff with The Rock, everything else is just like cannon fodder.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not into the first note that I have here from producer Shay. Jimmy officially accepts Jay's challenge. You don't like the brother on brother match?
I do, but
it's only happened twice in WrestleMania history. Owen and Brett.
Oh, that's right, WrestleMania 10.
And what the fuck? I just saw it. I just saw the stat the other day. It only happened twice. Come on, Tommy. You're the historian here.
Owen and Brett.
Oh, Kane Undertaker? No, I guess that doesn't really count.
I can't think of it. Did Rick and Scott ever go against each other?
Not at a WrestleMania, no. Damn it! Why? The people that are watching are screaming at the screen right now. Like, how can you not know this? It'll come to me. I hope it comes to me. But in any event, brother versus brother, Jay and Jimmy. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, but everything else, it's just like, okay.
Let's go over this.
So much better.
All right, we got Raw here. Usos did start off. Jimmy and Jay were out there. They had a great promo. I don't know why I still get excited or pop for the fact that McAfee gets on the table, does the Oos thing.
Because it's McAfee.
It's funny as shit.
Because it's McAfee.
And it's so funny. And like, just kudos to the creative over there now, whether it be Triple H or anybody else who's in charge of that stuff. They're letting these guys have fun. And now that little camera that's in the, it's like wedged in the commentary booth to get the reactions.
Mm-hmm.
I just scrolled by a WWE post, and it was like Michael Cole was like, yeah, he moves as fast as a puma. And Pat McAfee out of nowhere says, yeah, that's not talked about enough is how fast the puma is. And like, Michael Cole broke. He broke. You had to like hit the mute button.
Well, I mean, they're
having a good time, and that's so I know me and Josh, you know how many times I have to hit the mute button because Josh has me just rolling. That's what commentary's about. You're telling stories, but you're having fun.
They're slowly turning the whole WWE production into UFC.
Yeah, I mean, who did I say? It might have been my interview with Van Vliet where I said I absolutely love them doing the whole arrival at the arenas thing. Like, I know it's very NFL, very NBA, very UFC.
Did you notice that was just done this past Wednesday night? Same thing.
Well, who cares, bro? Wrestling.
No, I'm just saying, like
wrestling.
It's a trend.
Is a copycat business. No matter how you try to spin it.
It's a trend, and you know what? It's a good trend because it's it's what we're used to seeing.
Let's do it. So the Jimmy and Jay thing was good. Jimmy did say that the only reason why he's successful is because of him, and then I'm gonna beat the yeet out of you or whatever. I know. So they little kibosh there. Cody comes out, helps. Defend off of Solo.
Oh, Coaster.
He's getting a lot of airtime. DIY defeats the Creed brothers to qualify for a tag team match at Mania. I did see the heartfelt text or post by, I believe it was Ciampa, said like just to see his name in the poster to go to WrestleMania and have a match at WrestleMania, like the 5-year-old is going nuts in his mind. You know what I mean? Now, those guys absolutely deserve it.
Did you watch the match?
That one, I kind of just trickled by.
The Creed brothers are so good.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're great, and
they are so good.
Yeah, and they've been good since they got there. So it's just a matter of time.
I forget which Creed brother it was. I think it was Ciampa, in a suplex position, like on his knees, and then stood up with him still in the suplex position.
That's a lot of strength right there, because that's not bounce. That is
brute
strength. According to Shay, Andrade is kind of joining the Judgment Day. She's not. She's not sure what's going on there. Do you know what's going on over there?
It's what it looks like. But
Judgment Day is getting a little crowded.
It is, but if it happens, it's who are they turning on? Are they going to turn on Priest?
Turn on Priest. No, he's the leader. Besides Rhea. Like, he's the guy. He's the voice.
Rhea is the leader.
Rhea is the leader. But
that is the clear leader.
Yeah, it's very clear.
I don't. Because think of it, he's still got the Money in the Bank thing.
Listen, they're starting to advertise this year's Money in the Bank, so something's got to give. I'm wondering if there's any. Do you think, like, gun to your head, is there any remote possibility that this goes down at Mania, like a cash in of any of those titles? Like, what if Cody finishes the story? And the story ends like immediately.
Oh my God!
The place would come unglued. That place would burn to the ground.
The meltdown
faster
would be,
than a playoff exit for the Eagles.
The meltdown would be tremendous.
Oh my God!
I'm here for it. Please do that.
I'm here for it too. I'm so here for that. Jesus Christ! Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell defeats Chance and Carter. They're recycling that over and over again.
It's not even that. You had Chance and Carter go in there, win those belts on SmackDown, right? They were looking amazing. Now they're just jobbing. It's like, why would you build them up just to knock the... Maybe there's a story behind it. I don't know. But you can't do that. It just doesn't... It looks stupid. It looks stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you. Paul Heyman and Cody agreed that Roman with Paul... and Cody will show up to SmackDown alone. Now, do you buy that for a half a second?
So, I don't think this is going to happen, but, timing is everything in wrestling, right?
Sure.
So, they said that, and then last night, Jacob Fatu on Twitter, in all capital letters, put, God is good, right? So, of course, the IWC is like, well, Paul Heyman did say that he was going there without any member of the bloodline. Does this mean that it's going to be you? And everybody was just going on with it. Then he put a next post up. He goes, can I just say God is good without it being anything to do with wrestling? So it's like, damn it.
Or is he double swerving you?
I really hope it's a double swerve.
I mean, look, there's nobody. There's two guys in this room right now that are rooting hard for Jacob Fatu to get on a program somewhere, either AEW, WWE, I don't care where, NXT, doesn't matter. He's ready. Everybody knows he's ready. Yeah. He's clearly not being advertised for any kind of signings or matches or anything like that WrestleMania weekend. So, and I know he's not like just going to sit back at home and just watch all the stuff happen. He wants to make his money. So we'll see how that goes. Ricochet defeats Dom Dom.
Match was all right.
Match was okay. I saw that one. Now, this is Shay's words, not mine. Dave's man crush told Sammy that he can't beat Gunther. That would be Chad Gable.
See, that Chad Gable turn, it's coming. He's going.
It's not even a turn. It's just like
he's just going from the goofball to being a real dude.
Hell yeah! It's weird. If there was anybody on this show,
he's still 5'4".
If there's anybody on this show that said Chad Gable should be pushed to the moon, I raise your. Oh, that was me. Yeah. I forgot.
He's still 5'4". So
I don't give a shit how tall he is. Who cares? Casey Navarro's 5'2". You like him, don't you?
Yeah.
He's taller than 5'2". He's like 5'3". He's like 5'3".
And a half.
Yeah, it depends the way the wind's blowing.
It's the shoe lifts.
Sammy and Gunther had a contract signing. Nothing there. Not much there.
No. And this is what I mean about WrestleMania. I don't want, and I like Sammy. I don't want to see that match. I don't want to see Sammy win.
I'd rather see. Ready for this? I'd rather see Sammy and Chad Gable.
Yes.
That would be more believable. Yeah. That would be more interesting.
I don't want to see Sammy win another Intercontinental Championship because, and we've said this before, when Sammy went with the Bloodline, that threw him. Oops, sorry, Goldie. That threw him over the stratosphere. He definitely got more over than you would think that he would. But then after that, they won the tag belts. It was okay for about the first couple tag defenses, and then people wanted the belts off them right away. This is what I talk about. Why you got to be careful with the people that he needs to have this, he needs to have this, because the second he gets it, the next guy comes up, it's like, oh, well, you got to give them the belt now.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not interested in seeing Sammy win that. I don't think Gable has held a individual title. I don't even think he won a tag title. Did he win a tag title?
It was
maybe with Jason Jordan in NXT when they were
maybe
the original I don't remember off Alpha team. I don't know. But if you're gonna do it, I just let Gable be the one to beat Gunther. It's unexpected. And I think the pop would be tremendous. There's a lot of people that believe in Chad Gable. I like Chad Gable. He's just short.
You're terrible. Awesome Truth defeats Indus Shear to qualify for the tag team title match at Mania. Good. That'll be the pop of one of the pops of the night. If R-Truth and Miz win the tag team championship.
So wait, did you see that though? Did you see that whole thing before they went out there?
No. Refresh my memory.
They're standing. Miz is standing in the back, and R-Truth is there, and I think they're there with DIY. And Indus Shear walks by, and Truth's like, man, I feel bad for the guys that are going up against them. Miz is like, don't worry, I'll tell him. Like,
it's gold. It's just gold. CM Punk is being advertised to come back next week to Raw.
You guys are still on that he's not hurt train.
Here's the question from Shay. Any chance that we get a triple threat for the title, or maybe night one, Drew versus Punk, one-on-one? I firmly believe that now that you're advertising him for Chicago, like, I don't care how many videos you show of him, like, squeezing a ball or doing the exercises and shit. That all could be staged, man. It's not like, could we suspend reality for 5 seconds? Like, let's be honest. That first day that he showed up back post torn tricep, he looked fine. And everybody, like, he was doing this to the table. I couldn't move my knee for like 2 weeks after surgery. I don't give a shit if it was, and look, even if they want to paint the picture and say there was a small tear and we had to repair it and the recovery time is actually 4 weeks, fine. But like the whole, this shit's got to stop. Next week's promos are going to be great, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be great. He said he's going to go to WrestleMania. He said that already. In what capacity? I don't know. But a torn tricep, I can't imagine him being a ref.
He's looking beefy, too. He's put some size on.
And you know what? Didn't Payne, shout out to Payne, by the way, who's not here. Didn't Payne say something like maybe they weren't happy with how he looked when he first got there and like go pack on some size for Mania? We'll write you off TV for a little while. That's a thing. I mean, I've seen that happen to guys like Mark Henry, Big Show, when like if they were putting on too much weight, or they looked like sloppy, or they just didn't look good, they'd be stripped right off of TV.
Didn't they send like Big Show? He was down like he was in OVW.
Yeah, he was like 550 pounds. He was huge, and they had to like they're like, dude, go get right because what you're doing and how you're presenting yourself is not right. So maybe Punk got there, looked like Skeletor, and they're like, look, dude, go put on some size. We'll give you 2 months. You know what I mean? Like that could be a thing too. But I guess we'll find out. New Day.
I've never been this positive about CM Punk in my entire life. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting old.
Positive as in like positive energy? Or
yeah. Maybe it's because I'm getting old.
Well, because he's not in the headlines for dog shit headlines anymore. Oh. There's no backstage scrums. There's no...
to be honest...
There's nobody's dogs getting bit.
I had a ton of respect for him for that. A ton of respect for him for that.
I'm just saying, like, there's no bullshit right now. And maybe it's too new. Maybe the honeymoon's still happening. So it's like he's not rubbing anybody the wrong way. And maybe he's elevating people right now. Because right now, if you think about it, heel Drew is at its peak because of CM Punk. You know what I mean? So it's like he's helping others get over.
And he's working with like I said last week, people were taking pictures of him sitting at a table in NXT. So he's helping the people out in NXT, which is exactly what he wanted to do over in AEW, is work with the younger talent and help them out. Like him or you don't, and I never got it, but he was the most over person in wrestling for a very long time. And people could sit there and be like, oh, well, that's because he was, he bumped the system. And
just listen to the crowds. For a long time when he was gone.
You buck the system a lot when you're younger. The older that you get, there's ways to buck the system, but still be a company guy.
Right. I agree. New Day defeats the Alpha Academy to qualify for the tag team match. Shay has a comment. It says that. Shay has a comment. It was obvious who was going to win each of the qualifying matches, so they weren't as exciting. Does that ring true to you?
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think the match could have been a lot better. And
she's talking about all qualifying matches.
But
you kind of knew.
That match in particular could have been a lot better. I like the New Day. It should have been Otis and Tozawa that won that match. They should be in that tag match.
And of course, the end of the night ended with Becky Lynch defeating Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. The show ended with Becky and Rhea face to face. Bro, let me tell you something. Becky doing the leg drop through the table. What a spot. What a fucking spot that was. That was incredible. Right? Or am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right.
I mean, again, there's Becky detractors, there's Becky fans. You know, I personally, I've had enough, right? But it's like, I know the fans in the universe, they all love her, so why not capitalize? Nia Jax, for me, does that write her off of Mania?
No.
In some capacity? I mean, she ain't going to be going for any championships, that's for sure.
I have a funny feeling she's going to cost Becky.
That's her role at WrestleMania?
Why
Just
not?
outside interference? That sucks.
She can still have a match and do that. She could have a match, the one night and still do that. But this thing with her and Becky's not over yet.
We shall see. Shall we move on to All Elite Wrestling from last night?
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, right. I'll see you guys next week. Mercedes starts off the show. Shay's words, not mine. Cuts a terrible promo.
She's never been good at promos, though. She's never been good at promos.
For somebody that carries herself as I'm a boss, I'm a blah, 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 you think you'd be able to fucking
she's never. And that was the knock that everybody had for her in WWE. I don't like. You're bringing this woman in as the highest paid, probably a woman in wrestling, I'm sure, because Tony doesn't care. And you're putting her in a feud with Julia Hart. Why?
Because that's the way it was.
Like, why would you not be having her feuding with, like, where's Britt Baker? She's all over fucking Twitter. Like, why?
She hurt?
I have no idea. But why wouldn't you have her feuding with one of the top women in your company? Not, and nothing against Julia Hart. I like Julia Hart. I like her gimmick. She's nowhere near the level of wrestling for Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks, whatever the fuck you want to call her. She's nowhere near that level. So are you using Mercedes to boost Julia? And why would you be doing that with Mercedes just coming in to the company?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't foresee that being a thing.
So you're gonna have Mercedes win and it's a secondary belt. It is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Okada defeats Eddie Kingston for the Continental Championship. Pac comes out after that. Not much going on there, I guess. Maybe Pac and Okada.
What are your thoughts on? Did you? I know you were watching last night.
I watched Hook and Jericho, and then I watched Ospreay, and then I turned everything off.
I watched Hook and Jericho, and I said, "What the fuck is this shit?" Come on, be truthful.
I just think that
because it's to the point now where
there comes a time
the AEW fans are sick of seeing him now.
Who, Jericho?
Yep. Which is they were his biggest defenders with everything, and thank you, Jericho. They're even getting sick of seeing him now.
All right, riddle me this.
Sure.
If Jericho were to leave AEW and reappear at WWE, would that reignite him?
No.
You think it's completely done?
It's completely done, dude. It's not interesting anymore. It's corny. He literally turned into everything that he complained about with WCW. He complained about the Halls and the Nashes taking the spotlight from the younger wrestlers. Like, he literally became that, whether he wants to understand it or not. And the guy is a legend in this business.
Yeah, you can't take away everything that he's done.
Nothing away from him. He was probably the greatest.
That's his belt right underneath.
That was
says Chris Jericho on.
He was the greatest debut in wrestling history when he came to WWE.
Greatest debut.
Greatest debut.
Ever? Really?
Ever. That countdown was fucking insane. That place went bonkers.
No, I remember. I remember when his name was upside down, then it flipped up, and everybody realized at that moment who it was. One of the loudest pops I've ever heard. But you think that's the greatest debut in wrestling history?
Name me one better.
Debut. So it doesn't matter. So from company jumping to another company. You're telling me that the fucking Scott Hall debut at WCW wasn't as good?
It didn't hit like Jericho's did.
No.
Jericho's was
fair.
That was shocking what Hall did. This was the pop of all pops, and it happened with The Rock in the ring.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Debuts for the different company. Taz's was good.
There's no pop that was louder than Jericho's. No pop.
Yeah, I guess you might be on something there. Jericho said he respects Hook and has a proposition for him next week on Dynamite. Shay thinks it's probably to enter the tag team championship tournament together.
Probably.
So we'll see if that happens. Ospreay, bruv, challenged Shibata next week. Dynamite, great. Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo defeats Toni Storm and Mariah May. Thunder Rosa pinned Toni, so that's notable because obviously Tony's the champ. Swerve Strickland defeats the Butcher.
The Butcher. He's a butcher.
I do like the Butcher, but why? What was the? It was just because.
Just because.
All right.
Butcher's the one with the mustache, right?
Yes. And Butcher is great. I love both of them. Blade, Butcher and the Blade. Those both guys were great. You know, individually, tag team, whatever. They're great. But again, this just paints the whole super indie card every Wednesday night.
And before AEW fans get on us, that doesn't have a story or a video package. If that was your headliner, why?
Well, it wasn't the headliner. In fact, the headliner of last night was Adam Copeland defeats Christian for the TNT Championship.
That's right. Yeah, because they were in
Shay
Canada.
is confused why this wasn't saved for a pay-per-view. She goes, I get it was in Toronto, but just the episode of Dynamite? You got to do it there. You got to do Toronto.
Well, because he probably doesn't have a pay-per-view lined up for Canada.
Potentially. But great match, great ending. Adam Copeland back on top. That's good. Again,
I'm glad he didn't come out looking like Rocky Raccoon this week.
Yeah, he looks for somebody to introduce that spike thing, right? And then for Christian not to bleed at all and Edge be the one, Adam Copeland be the one to be all busted up. I didn't see how it happened.
Looked like a sea urchin.
Yeah, I didn't see how it happened. Here's some news.
Oh, news.
Ronda Rousey said she's not coming back to WWE anytime soon. Nobody fucking cares.
Oh, dude, no.
Holy
she's fucking
shit.
Who
actually gives a shit about that?
She's saying that in that book, it's a couch, it's a casting couch culture back there. Really? But you went back twice there, dearie.
Here comes the money.
Yeah.
That's
you know what
why
I mean? It's like
you go back.
Please.
That's why you go back.
And she went to Ring of Honor. She did one little match there in Ring of Honor.
Is that it now? I haven't seen her since.
Nobody wants her. She's
Listen, she was the baddest woman on the planet for a long time.
Yeah. Her first run in WWE was awesome because it was new.
But was it? I mean,
then she went away, and when she came back, it was.
Yeah. Whatever.
Shayna Baszler has completely outshined.
Shayna Baszler, by the way, is in Bloodsport, which is a crazy Forbidden Door thing.
I have not gotten to watch one of those yet.
Me neither. But the fact that she's going to GCW as a WWE contracted wrestler, that's huge for GCW.
Well, I remember a couple years ago, Stephanie McMahon was talking about, like, they were in talks with Brett Lauderdale and GCW with things. So I don't know if those talks went away for a while and then came back.
Yo, kudos to Brett Lauderdale. I've known Brett Lauderdale for a long time. He was one of the first refs I've ever met at PWS when I started my career. Very cool dude. And
he's
now
doing great
he's
things
just
over there.
Uber successful. So congratulations to Brett and GCW. Brand new documentary coming out, Peacock, April 1st, Becoming Immortal. Bray Wyatt. Now, they're in the trailer. They do show Bo Dallas as part of it. So, look, nothing would make me happier than for them to continue what he started somehow, some way.
Yeah,
put a spin on it. Do something. Don't just let that literally just fade away.
Another documentary. It's gonna make me fucking cry.
I'm still on the Scott Hall one on AEW on A&E, and that one's getting rough.
Like I told you, I'm
like an hour and so odd in, so it's not much longer. He's with Dallas Page now. The last time I checked,
Scott Hall. My two top favorite guys. Well, I'll give you three: Jake the Snake, Scott Hall, and Roddy Piper. Okay,
two of them are down in Dallas Page.
From when I was a kid, I was huge with all. So when my cousin came to move in with us, he moved in the week before the Nitro that Kevin Nash came back with Scott Hall. Kevin Nash was always his favorite, and
Scott
Hall was always mine.
Ah.
So when we used to walk around the house with the two sweet, you know what I mean? So when I was enamored with Scott Hall from when I was a kid, my whole life. And I remember that first ESPN documentary they did on him.
Rough. It was 2011, I believe. Where he couldn't even do the fucking too sweet thing. He was just so fucked up.
That was when he was like, I don't want to die, but I can't help myself here. And, I take all these pills and not one of them gets me high. Like, that got to me because, you know my story.
Yeah.
So then his documentary came out, and I was so happy to see how great he was doing. And then, we did the show the day that it happened with him.
Mm-hmm.
That hurt. Just like Piper's hurt. Like, I fucking cried like a baby at my father-in-law's fucking camper. We were on vacation. You know what I mean? So that Scott Hall one is fucking tough.
Yeah, that one's tough. And I'm sure the Bray Wyatt one is going to be...
You haven't finished it yet?
No. Yeah, I have not finished it.
Well, because there's more things that came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good Lord. All right, well, I'll probably finish that today or tomorrow. But then, obviously, with this Bray Wyatt one, yeah, you would love to see all the highlights and the stories and how creative he was and how great he was on the stick. And, like, the issue for me is how many fans are going to come back after that, not only just be sad because he's gone, but also, like, you mother effers. There was so much untapped potential, and you just never took advantage of just such a creative, talented, excellent human being in Bray Wyatt.
Like Triple H had said, some of the things that he did was like so over the top creative. He's like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can't always, do everything you want, but imagine Bray Wyatt now in a WWE where it's led by Triple H and like the creative juices would be flowing. It'd be crazy.
I mean, you were starting to see snippets of it. Like, okay, so his match against LA Knight, it was a good idea, I bet, on paper.
Was that dark match or
whatever?
It
was a good idea on paper, I'm sure, and the aesthetics of it probably looked really cool when you were in the arena, right?
Mm.
But watching it at home, you can't really see anything. So, okay, that was an egg. They laid an egg on that one. And it really sucks, like LA Knight said, like, I really hate that I was his last opponent because he was never really able to right that ship from there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
We'll see how the documentary portrays him. Obviously, it's going to paint him in a good light, which it should.
Yeah. I guarantee you it's going to be as good as Cody Rhodes's was.
Yeah. Yeah. Peacock does a really good job with all that. WWE Films is very good with all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, as far as the Hall of Fame, I'm not sure if they're done yet.
They haven't announced anybody else.
They haven't announced anybody else. We mentioned it last week. We got a nice little traction on a reel and a thank you from Tommy Dreamer because we both believe, in pain included, that Tommy Dreamer belongs in the Hall of Fame if they're going to go with this whole Philadelphia extreme route.
But even if not, he should be. Like I said, he should be.
He's a pillar. He's
inducting Heyman. It should be him.
Yeah, I think
just because of the whole story of, like, at one point he was going to shoot Paul Heyman at a WWE show, and they were able to reconcile. And like Payne was talking about that one panel that they had when they were talking about like ECW, when it was Paul Heyman, Tommy Dreamer, Taz, and the Dudley Boys.
Mm.
You see how Dreamer gets so worked up, like emotional, when talking about the things that Paul Heyman had done for him. And I always had a huge soft spot for Tommy when Tough Enough Season 3 was my favorite season. When
who won that one?
That was the one that like Jonah was in, and the kid Matt who passed away from cancer.
Capitelli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Tommy Dreamer was talking to them as a group and said, when he debuted with WWE, his dad, who had really bad Parkinson's, was going blind. And he got to see Tommy debut with WWE, and then he said like a couple days later he went blind and he was never able to see again.
Wow.
Like, that's the kind of, like, when you hear Tommy talk, like, he's so emotional and passionate, especially about this business.
Yeah.
If you're not going to induct him in there, at least let him be the one to induct Paul Heyman. I think it's only right, in my opinion.
Me personally, I don't want him inducting Paul Heyman. I want him in by himself, but again, we don't control that stuff. Other news, Darby Allin broke his foot.
Now he's not climbing Mount Everest.
I guess he was training for that, and now, it was bound to happen.
Which is nuts to me to begin with. Like, everybody's like, oh, not everybody, dies when they climb Mount Everest. The people that climb that train for years.
People have climbed it, right? Like, I don't know.
People have climbed it.
I'm not a historian or anything.
Here's the fucked up part. People have climbed it. But the dead bodies of the ones that didn't make it are still up there.
Oh, God, really?
They're still up there, frozen solid, because they can't get them down.
Why can't they get them down?
Because you can't. How you gonna get them down?
Get a helicopter.
No, they're frozen up there. There's fucking pictures.
There's
all
pictures?
Yeah.
I got to see that. That's
So
I'm not a big fan of that.
Not everybody makes it. So, like, and even he was saying, oh, well, you know, I might not make it. It's like, buddy, you don't have to take these fucking risks. Like, I get it. You only get one life, but there's no reason to end it that way. You could end it
this early.
Yeah, I mean, you could just end it in front of 3,000 people on a Wednesday night like you've been trying to do.
Shut up. Shut the hell up. Anyway, that'll wrap it up. There's a lot of that's how we'll end it on a high note. A lot of cool things down the pike, as we said. Make sure you check out Fight Factory Wrestling on Instagram. Follow us over there. Follow the podcast, Fight Factory Podcast. Yeah, man, we're very, very excited. Tomorrow night is going to be historic for us. I think, you know, getting our first taste of being able to agent a match. And
I think I have an idea for our walkout song, too.
Oh, God.
I think you're going to like it.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it off. Actually, just tell me. What do you want?
The instrumental version of Victory.
Like from Rocky?
Still
like Creed, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. The opening of that song is fucking 10 minutes long.
I told you I was going to edit it down so it
okay, well, if you could do
we
that,
can just start and then just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creed.
I got to know, what is your obsession with Creed? I've got to know. There's got to be a backstory behind that.
It's easy. My first concert I ever went to with my best friend John. John passed away. I just love Creed ever since.
That's great.
Shut your mouth.
So what's Payne's infatuation with?
I think he just loves Scott Stapp. Like, I'm not sure.
Because he almost looks like him.
He used to, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, a lot of fun things coming down tomorrow in Totowa. Be sure to check that show out. Be sure to download the new Premier Wrestling app. It's going to officially launch on Tuesday of next week.
Baby.
Squared Circle Expo. Check those guys out. Next week, Josh will be in attendance for that. And then the following week, we are WrestleMania bound for Philadelphia. I'm very excited.
Holy crap, it's here.
It's really here, man. Opening day baseball's here. It's just a lot of shit happening all at once. So it's March Madness is here if you're a college basketball fan, which, you know, I'm not really the biggest fan, but I'll watch the tournament. I'll see what's going on.
You think Payne could get a hold of 3 uniforms and 3 badges and we just walk into WrestleMania pretending to be cops?
You ever see that movie, Let's Be Cops?
Yeah.
Very good movie. Very good movie. Anyway, for Dave Sturchio, that's Tommy Dee. And, of course, thank you to our sponsors, Absolute Eyewear, MadCatBeerCare.com, and, of course, the Richard Lucas Chevrolet studio in which we record this bad boy each and every week. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week with Casey Navarro. Don't forget.
I feel blessed.